All right, it's tomorrow. So what we got to do now is clean the pit. So let me show you the pit. This little pit has seen some hard times, but it hangs in there. I've had to replace a couple of parts on it already, but it does a good job. It's portable, so when we go camping, I can take it anywhere I want. But you got to clean it all the time, you know. So like I said, here's the bucket full of your pellets. I've had this pit 4 years. It's pretty good. It's not a bad investment. I had to replace some parts, so whatever. And then we're gonna clean the inside of that. So let me do that, and we'll see you in a little bit once I get ready to put that brisket in. So if you're not familiar with how pellet smokers work, again, like I showed you in here, this is where your pellets go. And then you have an auger that will drive the pellets in on top of the heating element, which is right down here. And so basically it just starts off this little heating element, or a little heating rod that lights up, ignites the pellets just enough to get a fire going. And then of course with the temperature reading and the auger feeding those pellets, that's what keeps the fire going. And so it keeps it at temperature, right? So every time the temperature drops a little bit, drops a little more pellets, burns it up, you know, gets the temperature up, holds it, auger stops, and back and forth, back and forth. So the beauty about smoking with a pellet smoker is that you set the temperature, you know, fill your box up with pellets, and then basically you just forget about it a little bit. You still got to kind of watch it every once in a while. With these smaller pits, sometimes it's necessary to rotate the brisket because you get hot spots, you know, because if you imagine the brisket sitting right here, this is your flame, that heat comes up here and then it disperses right, left and right. So then sometimes you get hot spots on the end, hot spots here, and then in the middle of the brisket, like a brisket has 5 sections. So hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. So you have to kind of move it a little bit. At least that's my experience with using a grill like this. Okay. So anyways, I'm gonna clean it out as best as I can, get all the ash out. You know, just nice and fresh, clean ash, if you will, from the pellets. So when it's blowing around, it's just nice, clean smoke. No flavors from, you know, prior cooking or meat or grilling and stuff like that. All right. It's 10 o'clock. Still got 2 more hours, but it's warming up nicely. You know, not as cold as taking it out of the fridge and dumping it into the pit. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So 2 more hours, and that's enough of warming up, but that'll be time to put it in the pit. We're gonna let it go all night. And the beauty of having that smoker pit is that when you do leave it in there, you just let it do its thing all night. You can go to sleep comfortably, not worry about a thing. So, all right. So I'll see you in about a couple hours. But for you, it'll probably be like 2 seconds. All right. So now it's time to get that brisket in, and I think I said I was gonna put it at 12, but it's 11:32. 30 minutes ain't gonna hurt. So right now it's still cool to the touch, but that's pretty good temperature though. So we're gonna go ahead and get it in the grill, and I'm gonna cheat a little bit today because I don't want to smell like smoke. So I'm gonna actually put it in the pit before I even ignite the pit, and then I'm gonna control it via my iPad, and I'll show you in a second how I do that. That's the other nice thing about this particular pellet grill, is it works by Wi-Fi. All right, got it all nice and clean, so it's good to go. Okay, so basically, let's turn it around. I do like to put it on the fat side that I trimmed. Let's see, I gotta figure out what side. Oh yeah, I had it right. Put the fat side down, because once we're done, where you see that fat right there, I'm gonna cut it in half and get 2 pieces. It's gonna shrink some, right? So we're gonna Once it gets to about 165 degrees, we're going to cut that in half right at that fat, and wrap up each piece individually, and then it goes back in there for some more heat. Okay, let it do its thing. I'll put in the brisket inside the pit at about 11:30. I'd imagine it gets to temperature, in about 15-20 minutes. So then from there I'll start monitoring it. I'll set it up on my iPad, and then I'm just gonna let it do its thing all night. I'm gonna set it real low temperature. I'm probably gonna leave it like about 190. Low and slow at nighttime. When I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna take a look at it, see how it's doing, and then from there I'll probably bump up the temperature to about 200, 205, and just let it do its thing by itself again for until it gets up to like 199. I'm really looking for like that 205 mark. When I hit that 199, 205, then I'll pull it out, and it's gonna go in an ice chest. But you'll see. I'll just show you. But for now, man, good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Deuces. Let's go ahead and hit connect. Grill detected.